So the latest from Blumhouse, well actually Blumhouse Tilted, which I didn't even know existed until after I watched the movie a couple of weeks ago, but basically they take these short short theatrical releases and release them. Well, that's besides the point of this video. I don't know why I'm about to get into the whole production talk. Anyways, let's talk about the movie and its ending and what the hell that means for a possible sequel. So the movie is upgraded and it's written and directed by one half of the team that brought you Saw, Insidious, and The Conjuring. No, it's not Juan, because the man is literally working with Jenkins and Sandberg back to back, trying to bring back the DCU to be somewhat of a competitor to the MCU. Now, this movie comes from Leigh Whannell and is more of an action sci-fi thriller than horror, which is what we've come to know him as, and the movie doesn't disappoint for the most part. So let's get into the basic premise of the movie. The movie deals with a distant, yet not so distant future in which we have cars that drive themselves, humans with enhanced abilities through technology, VR, and oh yeah, an AI named STEM that can be implanted in you and make you Neo from the Matrix, but just right before that he might actually take control of you and make you into a maniacal killing machine. Anyways, the film deals with a guy and his wife being targeted after they go to sell a car and going back home in their self-driving car. The car starts malfunctioning. This is why technology is kind of scary. After they malfunction and have an accident, they are then attacked by a group of men who kill the wife. They ultimately leave the man as a quadriplegic. What was interesting about these men that attack them is that they are somehow upgraded, and one of them actually, instead of an arm, they have a gun that comes out of it. So that's kind of weird but kind of cool at the same time. The husband is now pretty much depressed and he just wants to kill himself. One night he does almost do that, but then the kind of douchey tech whiz who he sold the car at the beginning of comes to visit him, and he's like, "We can rebuild you." And it's just like, holy shit, I've heard this so many times before. And then he basically talks to him about this new AI that he has developed and stuff that will give second chances to people who have lost limbs, handicapped people, quadriplegics. It will basically give him a new beginning. The man decides to do so, and then he begins to have the AI, and he pretty much is like, holy shit, this is amazing. One night, however, the AI starts taking a life of its own and starts helping him deduce exactly what happened that night, as the man has become frustrated with the police force and the special agent assigned to his case. They haven't found anything in 3 months, so now he starts saying, you know what, let's take matters into our own hands, and him and the AI go on this like killing spree. So they take over. The AI basically takes over him and hunts down each henchman that took part in the attack, as the truth starts to unravel and is much more sinister than we could all have imagined. It turns out that the tech genius that seemed to have helped him was actually the one who ordered the attack on Gray, so he would have a chance to use him as a guinea pig and play with his emotions, so he wouldn't be more like hesitant to not use the AI that we've come to know as STEM now. And then the AI has basically become evil at this point, and we've come to know that the AI is actually out for world dominance, and he just wants a human body to be able to do that, as we saw him kill the tech guy right before the special agent intervened. Now that the special agent is about to be shot by the AI, Gray has to make sure that this doesn't happen, and the only way to do that is by killing himself. And then we hear a boom, and we're just left scratching our head like, did he just kill himself? And then we're left scratching our head even more when we see him back at the hospital and the wife is alive, and we're just like, wait, did they just have a car crash and everything else was just a dream? Did you just Dallas me? But no, it turns out that STEM just took over the whole body, is in full control of the mind, and shoots the agent dead, and boom, it's over. What the fuck just happened though? Well, if we backtrack, we know STEM is basically psychotic and just wants to be a real boy. That's the way Pinocchio's story goes. In all seriousness though, STEM wants to be real and will do whatever it takes, and that is why he orchestrated the attack on Gray and his wife and had Gray kill everyone who knew the truth. He even had him kill his own creator. He knew Gray was so hurt from the events of his wife's death that he wanted to die, so keeping him locked up in an imaginary world would be easier than trying to fight him, thus giving him full control of Gray's body. I believe that what happens next is set up for a sequel or even a franchise with various characters that were laid out, as we saw that it is ultimately leading to a war with 3 factions: STEM, the upgraded humans, and the hackers that helped Gray, all trying to survive one another. I'll talk more about that in another video if you really want me to, but make sure you like this video to let me know that you want that video. In the end, STEM got what he wanted with his very lucrative plan, which I know has a few plot holes here and there, but it was very entertaining to watch, pretty gory at times as well, and I know it's done for shock value, but I appreciate it. It's like a good midnight flick. In the end, Upgrade taught us one thing: the truth is the movie is basically the darker version of the Tuxedo. All kidding aside, I definitely recommend all kidding aside, definitely recommend the movie for a fun action flick. Definitely for a mature audience that is mindless fun. But anyways, what do you think about it? Did you like it or not? Comment below and let me know what you think. And as always, let me know, will you be watching a sequel if they make one, or is this the one that does it and ends it for you? As always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, and as always, I'll see you next time. Stay positive.